So in this video today, I'm going to quickly review conjunctions, which I talked about in my last video, and then we're going to talk about commas. So conjunctions, they join clauses together, or they can introduce clauses. So these fanboys clauses, they join clauses together. And we'll talk about the different types of clauses later on. But right now we're just talking about what a conjunction is, and that is a word that joins two groups of words together. And so the acronym that we use to remember these conjunctions is FANBOYS, and it stands for and, nor, but, or, yet, so. So we're going to be talking about commas for the next couple of videos, and they are complicated. There are a lot of rules. And so I'm not just going to, give you all of the rules all at once and expect you to have them mastered. We're going to learn a couple and practice them, a couple at a time. So in this video, we are working with commas in a series and using commas for interjections. Now, there are going to be two golden rules in this video to keep an eye out for. So, what is a series? A series is when they have more than two nouns put together in a sentence. So, three or more nouns right next to each other in a sentence. And they're combined using the conjunction and. So, and is joining together these different nouns. But we don't need a conjunction between every single word. The and comes right before the last thing or item listed. So here, when we're using commas in a series, if our sentence is, the cookies are for Bella, Charlie, and Dylan, we want our commas separating those nouns, Bella, Charlie, and Dylan. And so we don't need a comma after the and. We use a comma before the and then the last phrase is and Sunday. So here, the cookies are for Bella, comma, Charlie, comma, and Dylan. I need milk, comma, eggs, comma, flour, comma, and butter. I am free on Monday, comma, Tuesday, comma, Friday, comma, Saturday, comma, and Sunday. So our golden rule here for this using commas in a series is when three or more items are listed in a series, we need to separate each of them with a comma. The last comma goes before the word and you can see that that applies to these examples here. Got three or more, here's 4, 5 items, and between each of them we put a comma, except at the end where it says and Dylan. And is not its own item, and is a conjunction joining them all together. So interjections. This is a bit of a review. We talked about interjections in a remote English slides assignment previously, and I linked that presentation in right here. So if you click this image, it will bring you to that presentation. But interjections, to review, are a part of speech where there is an exclamation of happiness, horror, shock, anger, pain, or confusion, and it's interjected into usually the front of a sentence. Most of the time it's at the front of the sentence, but here we can see an example where it's in the middle of the sentence. So Miss Scary said, "Jiminy Crickets, you guys did an awesome job today." This Jiminy Crickets is the interjection. It's interjected in there, and it's followed by a punctuation. It's always set off from the rest of the sentence with punctuation. And here are some even more examples. Got meh, eh, ger, ga, phew, ow, hello, hey, humph, eek, wow, uh-huh, nuh-uh, yay, and yuck. So here, our interjections are gosh, no way, hello, and phew. And we could use either a comma or a exclamation point to join that interjection to the rest of the sentence. Right now, if we didn't put a punctuation mark in, if it was just, gosh, she sure is tall. No way, I'm not eating that. Hello, do you have any lemons? We need a natural pause in there. It should be, gosh, she sure is tall. So again, we could either use a comma or an exclamation point, and either would make sense. We would have to capitalize that S if we used an exclamation point. Similarly with the D, if we used an exclamation point, that would need to be capitalized. So here we can join them to the rest of the sentence using commas. So that brings us to our second golden rule. When using an interjection, always follow it with a punctuation mark. So whenever we're using one of those words that shows emotion, expresses exclamation, we need to separate it from the rest of the sentence with a punctuation mark, and that is either a comma or an exclamation point. So in summary, when we use 3 or more items listed together in a sentence, in a series, we need to separate each item with a comma. The last comma goes before the word and. When using an interjection, always follow it with a punctuation mark, and that can be a comma or an exclamation point. And so some key terms from this slides. The word series, it's a list of more than 2 nouns put together, one right after the other in a sentence. Interjection is a part of speech where an exclamation of happiness, horror, shock, anger, pain, or confusion is interjected into usually the front of a sentence. Here are some examples. Ow, gross, oh my. So we're just going to be practicing with those 2 rules here. You're going to go onto the Google form, and you may want to open up this slides presentation to help you complete the Google form. And you can find this slides presentation linked in at the very top of the Google form. And again, I'd suggest you open it up and use a split screen or 2 separate windows so that you can see both the slides and the Google form to make sure you get all the answers correct the first time. If you have any questions, you can email me, you can leave a private comment, or you can visit my office hours Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, 3:15 to 4.